Good morning, Modern Steaders. Got a heat wave going on this morning. 32 degrees out. Oh, we had some rain and then a little bit of snow. A little slick out here this morning. Blossom, I think, has had enough of Zeke. She's saying, bring me back with the girls. After breakfast, we'll bring you back, Blossom. I think their date went really well, so I'm hoping this time she's pregnant, guys. Her and Caleb didn't get along, but her and Zeke did this time, so she's just as noisy as them. Morning, Figaro. What are you up to? Causing trouble? Good morning. I hear the puppy dogs. I know, you want your snack. There you go. Morning, little man, Caleb. You ready for breakfast there, little man? There you go. Enjoy. Zeke will be back in here in a few minutes with you. You guys ready for breakfast? Blossom will be back with you today. Everything will be back to normal. Go ahead. Let's go to the feeder. What are you doing, Tanner? Huh? What are you doing? You gotta wait for me at the feeder. There you go. Oh, little P, what are we gonna do about you getting in the feeder, huh? I guess as long as you haven't pooped in there yet, we're doing good. They can't stay in one spot and finish eating what I give them. They gotta go all around the feeder and see which spot's got the best pile. You keeping an eye on us, Figaro, or what? You coming, Pluto? He's got his big old stick. Oh, that dog cracks me up. Come on in, peeps. You ready for breakfast? Oh, looks like you're starting to molt out now. No wonder why our egg production's still slow. We still got molting chickens. That means they lose their feathers from one year and they regrow them for the next year. We need to get them some water and open up the nesting box. Man, look how good New York City looks with all them license plates. And we got a whole bunch over here. You guys are awesome. Oh, nope, it's open. You guys ready for some fresh water? Looks like you got some fresh rain in there. All right, ladies, if all possible, we'd like to get 5 eggs today. So if you could work on that, I'll see you this afternoon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think Blossom will be happy if we bring her back over.
No, I thought she was enjoying herself.
She did, but now she's had enough and she's ready to go back with the girls. You ready to go back? Come on, get in the barn.
Are you gonna go that way?
You want to get out from the stinky boys? And then we'll have to come back and... Oh, you gotta walk on the boards like a balancing beam? Silly goat. Come on. There you go, reunited. Reunited with your girlfriends. Next year, Hope, next year. You're too young to go see them yet. Too young. Alright, we gotta go get him out.
Why didn't you want me this year?
Come on in. We'll bring you in this way. There you go. Now you boys are reunited. Yep, no more girls. That's it. No girls. I've done a little research and I've decided on which dust collection system we're going to build here for the Homestead workshop. I'll put a link to a video down below. This is the one that I got the most ideas from. We're going to do a little bit of modifications to it. We went out and we picked up a new shop vac, and the big thing is this dust topper right here. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me get this one open up and I'll show you why we got the new shop vac versus using our old one. And why we went with rigid. There's a reason we went with rigid. Alright, looks like we got a little bit of building to do. We ended up getting the rigid stainless steel 10-gallon wet dry vac. One of the things I like about it is it's a 6 horsepower motor. So it's one of the things I was looking for. I was looking for the most powerful motor for the size of the vacuum that we could get. One of the biggest reasons we went with the rigid versus the shop vac we used to have, the rigid has a 2.5 inch size hole opening for the hose. This one has a 2 1/8, but then the hose reduces down to 1 1/8. So I found that even just sucking up a lot of my sawdust, it gets plugged up pretty quick and easy in here, and then in this fitting right here, where the rigid has a lot big opening and there's no areas for it to get like packed. So that was the first reason. The second reason is with this design, let me switch to what we did last night. We're gonna start out with a 10-foot long, 1.5 inch diameter piece of PVC pipe. We're gonna need that cut into 4 sections. So we're gonna go 29 inches and 3/4. Boom. And just lightly scuff down all PVC pipes. This way I can make sure that the paint's gonna adhere good. We're gonna spray paint these like a flat black or charcoal. It'll look a little nicer. I also got 4 2-inch to 1.5 inch diameter couplers, and then I also got 4 1.5 inch caps. You might be a farmer or a homesteader if you use hay bale string for as much stuff as possible. It's like MacGyver's duct tape. I'm gonna go ahead and blast these with some Anvil Gray spray paint. All right, now that you saw that pot, here is our parts and pieces. The other reason is we can take this, put our feet in here, like so, and I'll put a screw in there to hold it, and then we'll get to our top piece next. Richard is the only one who has a place where you can store your shop vac pieces still. Boom. A lot of the other vacuums used to have that, but I didn't find that anymore. Now we're gonna want them level, so I'm gonna make a little spacer to put in here for now, and then I'll show you how we're gonna fix that afterwards. So let's get our little spacer made. I want a block of wood to go under there that's, say, 1.25 inches. Can we go inch? If we go 1.5 inches, put it right here. Let's go with an 1 inch thick board. The 2x4 works, but if you look, if it's all you have, it's fine. But it pushes it out a little bit further than it needs to be to make it level. So if we go with an 1 inch board, that's pretty good right there. So if you don't have an 1 inch thick board, you can use a 2x4 on side, so you have 1.5 inches. But we just have some 1 inch thick roughs on lumber lying around that'll work perfect. I like that better. Yeah, that's close. Not sure if you noticed the new sweatshirt or not. We got some new t-shirts made up. Hashtag Where's Figaro. They're in t-shirts. We've had them out for about a month now, but I haven't been able to wear any yet because it's been too cold. So I had one made up into a sweatshirt. So if you want to get a t-shirt like this, I'll have a link in the video description down below. So next we want to cut a piece of plywood 20 inches by 20 inches. And 3/4 inch thick plywood if you have it. Oh. Alright, so those edges are kind of rough. Let's take our 5-gallon bucket. So now it looks a lot more softer. It looks more gentle. I don't know what you would want to call it, but it doesn't look as square and as boxy. It just looks nicer, but it's still kind of rough. So let's take our 1/4 round over router bit and we'll round off the corners. All right, I got a little ahead of myself. Before I cut off these corners, guesstimate. I'm gonna put them back, something like so. I should have marked center on the board. This will get us kind of close. Gonna want to mark center. So do this part before you get the corners looking nice and rounded over. Boom. snug, which is nice. Now we're gonna take the 1/4 inch round over. We're gonna round over the edges just that way we don't have any sharp edges that we gotta worry about getting splinters from. Boom. Alright, we got it marked front and back. Let's get everything lined up. Boom, boom, boom. Give it a tap. Good. Set it in place. Fits perfect. Our tool holders. Got a place to store all of our tools. Now we need the most important part for the dust collection system, which is this dust hopper right here. It's a kit they sell. I found the best price at Home Depot. I'm not a big Home Depot person, but this is where we had to go to get everything for this project. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm gonna put this like so. It's gonna clip on our 5-gallon bucket. This hose goes down here to here. Little stretchity stretch will do the trick. Before we hook it up, while it's nice and clean, let's look at it and I'll show you why or how it works. So your vacuum comes in, it's gonna suck. You can see there's a little diffuser here. So it sucks in, it makes like a cyclone. Then you put your vacuum hose here, so it sucks in the sawdust falls into the bucket, and the vacuum continues sucking. So this is your pail that holds all of your debris, whether it's sawdust or anything else. So even if you're not using it for sawdust, you could vacuum your car with it, whatever. The nice thing about it being a small 5-gallon bucket, especially for a homestead purpose, is, okay, say we're cutting good pine. We want those shavings for our compost, for our animal bedding, whatever. Dump it out, 5-gallon bucket. We're going to cut plywood or pressure treated wood, and we don't want that sawdust. We can put the 5-gallon bucket, empty it out before, have a fresh 5-gallon bucket, and then throw that sawdust away. And then we get clean wood again, so on and so forth. So let's get the hose hooked up to it. Oops, wrong side, guys. I almost made a mistake. There we go. Okay, so let's get the vacuum hose hooked up here and we'll start sucking. Look at that. Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't know you guys were down there. You all right? What are you doing in there? Sheesh. But look at all that sawdust. Nice, clean sawdust. The other reason why I like this, it's nice and compact. We don't have to have a huge vacuum system in the shop, and it's versatile. We can use it for more than just one application. So the nice thing about this is even if you don't hook it up to your saws, you can suck up and clean up your floor and you're not filling up and getting a bag full or ruining your filter. And you can vacuum your floors with it. So let's see how much sawdust we have in here right now. My guess is it's about full, would be my guess. Not quite full, but pretty full. So we picked up some good sized chunks of wood. There's some bigger ones in here, I know there is, like this. And we didn't plug up at once. Not a sponsored video, so this is the reason why we chose this one, is now we're able to pick it up, vacuum, pick up big chunks of wood, and not get plugged up. And if you already have a shop vac that you can do this to, all you need is a 5-gallon bucket and the dust topper and maybe an extra hose or two. I'm actually gonna paint this top gray to match everything else. So I'm gonna do that, and then this project's done. And we just gotta figure out our hose system to hook up to the chops are on the table saw. I ended up painting the top gray to match the legs, and I ended up having to take out those screws I had holding in our caps. And I used 1/4 inch carriage bolts that are 1 3/4 long. I got the carriage bolt, a washer, and a nut on the other end. So we have 1.5 inch long, we have 1.5 inch PVC pipe cut. It's a 10-foot long section. I cut into 4 even pieces of like 29 inches. 4 end caps and 4 2-inch to 1.5 inch adapters. And then we have the stainless steel 10-gallon rigid wet dry vac. And the reason we went with the rigid is because it was the only wet dry vac that I could find that had the base that you could actually clip these into.
We're gonna have some chicken stir fry again tonight. I'm making some brown rice to go with that. Boy, I wish I had some help. Oh, hey! Oh, hi. Gonna help? Sure. Oh, thanks. You're so silly. I need a good bowl. Garbage bowl.
We want them in smaller chunks.
You want it not so small, but you want it small enough so when you eat stir fry, it's not.
Like that needs to be cut again, right?
I would cut a little bit.
Or like the bottom?
Yeah, cut some of that bottom off. Yeah, that's perfect what you have right there. Gonna get my broccoli steaming. So this is my soy sauce, maple syrup, and sesame oil. And got my cornstarch. My garlic's too big. Some garlic. Korea glue.
How many eggs do you think?
How many did we get yesterday?
I think we got 4 yesterday.
Well, I'm still getting 4.
4. Look at all them plates.
I know. Beautiful.
Beautiful, so colorful. What? Only 1? Come on, ladies. We're getting low in the house. We need some more eggs. Slackers. Where are all your girls?
I don't know. Open up! I cleaned the school off for them.
You did?
I did. And then they ran up to the rest of the school.
And they haven't even come out to use them. Hope, what are you doing? What are you doing?
To have
You
a
just-
slumber party.
They're having a slumber party. They look like they've been slumbering around in wood chips. Look at them, silly girls. I guess they're all fat and happy and lazy then.
Guess so.
Right, Hope? Yeah.
Yeah, look how many eggs I got. Isn't that so many? I know, it's amazing.
We're gonna add our chicken.
Well, not how we normally end a video, but we ended up having friends over for dinner, so we didn't get to share that part with you guys. But I will say that was a delicious stir fry that Gina and Olivia made. Man, a good stir fry is always nice. I am looking forward to using this new shop vac system now. I gotta figure out the ductwork system to our saws. The hard thing is we move everything around all the time, so it can't be something that's mounted onto the wall. I think we either got to come up with 1 or 2 hoses that we can have connected to the chop saw, miter saw, if you would like me to say that, or the table saw. I don't know if I want to have 1 or 2 hooked up. I don't know, because we're going to be moving everything around like we always do. We don't leave that table up against the wall. We're always moving everything out and about. So we got to figure out the best way to get it all to work. But man, I'll tell you what, I am happy with how the suction end of the dust collection system works. Vacuum, we can still use it for vacuuming up anything, so it's pretty neat. And doing a lot of research on the dust collection systems, I didn't know stuff like this existed, so it's pretty interesting. It's compact. It's going to work good for us. If you have a shop vac that already has a place where you can mount the PVC pipes, all you really need to do is get that dust topper, piece of plywood, and a 5-gallon bucket, and a couple of PVC pipes, and you're in really good shape. It's not going to cost much to do it. So just wanted to thank you all for coming along on our homesteading journey with us. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this video and saying, Al, when are you going to make a dust collection system? So now we have one, so we'll have to come up with new ideas of what we can do. So thanks for coming along on our journey with us, guys. You're a huge blessing to us in our homestead, and we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres.